video. This time we are talking pistol headshots. Pistols are not my weapon of choice, as I'm not brilliant with them, but as we need to do the headshots for you to get your dark matters, I thought I'd give you some tips and show you that I am still capable with them, if not brilliant. Okay, first up, let's talk about the usual suspects, the things that I mention in every single video, because generally they're very useful for getting headshots with every single weapon. Concussion grenades being first. Concussed enemy is an easy enemy. If you run Heatwave as well, gives you an extra option to get concussion and stun your opponent, making getting the headshots a little easier. If I've been running it here, I may have actually achieved one or two more headshots than I do actually achieve. But since I do manage 10, which is a tenth of what I need, and you'd need in total for the weapon, it's not too bad. Okay. Now attachments. Attachments are always important, and pistols, there's none more important than a high caliber attachment. Like the assault rifles, the pistol does get the high caliber attachment, and the high caliber attachment can make getting your headshots much easier. Yes, and of course, game mode. Game mode is always important. I'm doing it in an objective-based game mode here. I thought I took the chance to do it on Nuketown. Well, Nuketown 24/7's up, and yeah, of course, hardcore. Hardcore can make getting headshots much easier as well. Now, I'm doing this in core, though, just to show that core is still something that you can easily get headshots in, and I thought it's about time I actually did one of these headshot challenge videos in core. Now, time to talk some things which are more designed for pistols than anything else. Not always, but for the most part. First up, pistols are a close quarter combat weapon. This means that, like the shotguns, you do want to keep your fights to closer ranges as opposed to long ranges. But unlike the shotguns, you can do engagement at medium and long ranges with the pistols, but you do want to avoid doing so unless you feel confident in being able to win the said gunfight. You see me do it a little bit here, and I really try to only do it if I feel that I'm more likely to win the gunfight than lose it. And being close quarter combat weapons, smaller maps are better. As you can see, Nuketown, if you have it, brilliant for getting your headshots with both the shotguns and the pistols. So while the Nuketown 24/7 is up, take advantage of it. When it's not, go for Chaos Mosh Pit if you're doing it on core. Otherwise, game modes like Domination or Kill Confirmed on hardcore are your best options for getting the most headshots. Now, weapon kick. This is something that I've not mentioned before for the assault rifles, and probably should have, but shotguns is not so important. But for the pistols, I will mention it because of the 4 pistols, one of which is DLC, but I'll get onto that in a little bit. For the 3 main pistols, the MR6, the LK9 and the RK5, the kick is highly different for each and every single one of these weapons. The MR6, being the semi-automatic, as you can see, has barely any kick whatsoever. Where you aim is where the bullets go, so you do want to aim more or less directly for the head every time and just hope you get the headshots. As you can see, I do aim for the head a lot, but not always do I get the headshot. But it's not to do with kick, it's simply to do with the enemy moving that costs me more of those headshots than anything else. The RK5 has a purely vertical kick. This means that when you fire the burst, will kick directly up. Each of the 3 bullets will move slightly higher and higher. So take advantage of this and aim slightly lower and let the kick take it up into the head. This will let you more shots into the head much easier, and it will also compensate if you do get shot and that causes your weapon to kick up. The LK9, the kick when you're firing it is very erratic. So you do want to be much closer. The closer you are, the more bullets you will be getting into the head, and it will make getting your headshots with the LK much easier. So with that said, remember, close for the LK, aim slightly low for the RK5, and for the MR6, just relax and aim for the head. Perk wise, I do however suggest running Scavenger while running your pistols. They do have a very limited ammo, and especially when you're running the RK5 and the LK, you will run through your ammo very, very quickly. Running scavenger will help you keep your ammo topped up and allow you to keep going when you're on those streets and when you don't want to be running out of ammo completely for your weapon. So if you have scavenger available to you, do run it while going for your pistols headshots. If you can, as you've seen me do a few times here, try and catch your enemy off guard. If you catch them off guard, it can make getting your headshots much easier with the pistol, as well as allow you to win more gunfights than you probably would have otherwise. So just keep that in mind when doing this, and take advantage of it to the fullest. And of course, as always, don't be afraid to camp. More so with the pistols and shotguns than most of the weapons, but the pistols are a secondary weapon. They are a backup. They're not something you should be running around with mainly and just using, as I have here, because it's generally not the best weapon to be doing it, but you can do it if you try hard enough. But don't be afraid to play dirty and camp. I do play aggressively with the weapons, but if you're not comfortable doing that, don't be afraid to camp your ass off and do your best while doing so. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you nail off more headshots. I managed, like I say, 10 headshots in this game, and that means if I did this 10 times, I would have 100 headshots done. So if you could do 10 headshots per game, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Hell, if you manage 6, that's still okay. These are pistols, they're not a primary weapon, so getting 6 headshots is still respectable. So don't be afraid to just get a few here and there. If you're not confident getting lots of headshots, don't be afraid to whittle them down. It's nothing to worry about if you do so. There's nothing wrong with whittling down your headshots slowly but surely, as opposed to going for 15 or 20 per game. I managed 10 here, and 10 means just 10 games to complete it. Like I say, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just whittle them down if you must just whittle them down. This has been Invalid Mix, and hopefully all of this helps you all achieve more headshots and gets you a bit closer to those dark matter camos. Take care, have fun, and good luck.